Hey, what's going on, ecosystem? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. In traditional car hauling, final mile delivery, not exciting. Drive away, flatbed, from a location to a home, pass. But fleet service companies know that somebody has to orchestrate this part of the transaction to get the whole deal. Because in the new world of car shipping, it ain't just 9 car haulers from a rail yard to a dealership. In fact, a growing vehicle logistics segment today is finding increased demand in the delivery economy for short distance pickup and transport and drive away. It's becoming bigger business than ever before. But when we say last mile and car home delivery, concierge service test drive, who does that? Is it just Carvana and Vroom and whoever's on TV? Why not a local dealer with a reliable service provider? Who can the dealership FixedOps director call for this service? Who provides local, on-demand vehicle pickup and delivery? Anthony Monteiro, COO of DRAIVER, provides this vehicle delivery logistics service. He's got answers and statistics, and he's here tonight, along with Shawn Petley of Step 1 Automotive, Ed Roberts from Bozard Lincoln Ford, and Tully Williams of the Niello company. We're going to talk about vehicle service delivery. We're going to learn a lot together. So please join the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business. Because it's Tuesday nights live on Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Tuesday nights live. The car hauler is here. That means we're back, we are live, and thank you so much for joining us. I sure do appreciate it. If it's your first time here, I want you to feel welcome. Please do feel welcome. Auto Transport Intel is for everybody. I know we have fragmented verticals all over the place. Nope, everybody's welcome here. Carriers, brokers, dealers, dispatchers, etc. And I want you to say hello. Please do say hello. Feel free to promote your company product or service, or ask a question. Ask that question that you think you can't ask anywhere else. You get kicked out and told there's no memes here or whatever. Ask it. Make a friend. Get a lifeline, right? Get some information. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go in industry news. I love at the quarter hour. I love industry news. It's national news, social media news, front of the store, back of the store, what's being talked about, auto transport tech, car shipping trends, vehicle logistics news, etc. So it's going to be great. And that's going to lead us into our feature interview with Anthony Monteiro. He's the COO of DRAIVER. Now, you heard me talk about car home delivery, vehicle test drives, concierge service, pickup and drop off. There's a lot to talk about. And so Anthony is going to spend the time with us, and we're going to learn a lot. And then we're going to bring in Shawn Petley at Step 1 Automotive. This was a guest He's brought in by Anthony specifically, and so we're going to learn together what they're talking about and what they're working on. And then to drive it home with FixedOps, we have two FixedOps directors with us, Ed Roberts from Bozard Lincoln Ford and Tully Williams from the Niello company. And this is all ahead of the FixedOps roundtable too. So there's a lot to talk about. We're going to learn a lot together. We're a little outside my wheelhouse. I mean, I know quite a bit about it, and I know several companies are really looking at this space because it's not overcrowded yet. And Anthony's done a great job of really dominating. He goes around the circuit. He talks everywhere. You'll find him on almost every live event. You're going to find him on the FixedOps roundtable. Anthony knows his stuff, so it's a treat that he's going to take the time to join us. Also, do me a favor. As you leave that like, you can also hit that share button. You see below the video, you see share, you see copy. You can grab that YouTube link. Yes, you can. You could text it, email it, share it on social media, and say, you know what, these guys are going to be live for the next 2 hours. 2 hours? Yeah, that's right. Go have dinner, come back, whatever you want to do. Because I'm gonna talk for a while. But we really want you to spread the word, let people know this is happening right now. And also, if you are looking for a longer conversation, you need help. Go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up. That'll put you in touch with Ty. He's in the live chat. We'll even give you his phone number. We want you to talk. It's not just a button or email that goes into the file of the lost. So do me a favor. You got a question, something to say, please put it in the live chat. Stick around because right after this, we're going to go into the live chat.
Are you completely stressed out? Give us a call today.
That is the voice of Sue at Murphy Auto Transport, Murphy Auto Dispatch Services. If you are looking for a dispatcher, a dispatch team, she's a fully licensed broker. She's my co-host every Thursday on Dispatching Live. She knows her stuff, and we want you to, if you need help, let us know. Get in touch with Sue. Her contact information is right there in the live chat. Speaking of, you see it on your screen. There's the website, there's the email, and there's the phone number. And in fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back it up. I'm going to the top. Cars on the Move was in here first. Ty with Cars on the Move, the Cars Should Be Business channel, is what he says. Thank you so much, Ty, for being in the live chat, being available. And for the videos, you see in the videos that Ty's been posting on YouTube, he's been cranking them out. So good job, Ty. That's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Silver Mint says J, and then a Google Greek translation, which means, Jay, you have the best car transport channel on YouTube. Thank you so much, Silver Mint. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in on a regular basis and being part of the core. It means a lot. Speaking of the core, we got Andrew Serica. What's going on? Ecosystem from Secure Motor Transport. Andrew is here. Andrew's going to be here next Tuesday night for the big roundtable. We'll be talking about it. So if you want to join the roundtable, let us know. Kimberly is here. Thank you, Kimberly, for doing what you do, being in the live chat, sharing the information. Here she is. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live with your host, Jay. Please join the live chat. Ask questions. Say hi. Feel free to post your business info. Okay, I'm gonna rack up a couple of the. I don't know what do you call that? What do you call it when you mean to say something? You say a variance of that, and it just comes out all strange. What do you call that? I don't know. It's something. It's the live jitters, I guess. I don't know how I got those, but I do. Murphy Auto Transport Services is here. Sue is here. What's up, Sue? Thanks for saying hello. So she's in there if you're looking for a dispatcher. We had a question today. guy looking for dispatch advice. So if you want to be a dispatcher, or you're looking for a dispatcher, or you're looking for a broker, etc., just looking for some advice in general, want to grow your business. Carlos Braxton, what's up? ACB Logistics. Thanks for saying hello, Carlos. Sure do appreciate it. Also, Finest Towing and Recovery. Hey, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. And I know your first name. It's on the tip of my tongue. First, Finest Towing and Recovery. Is that? Oh, you're on the list next week. It is. Is it Jonathan? I'm just going to go ahead and look. Finest Towing and Recovery. John. Yes. Got it. John G is going to be with us next Tuesday night. Cool, man. Thanks for saying hello. What else do we got here? Chris Chamberlain. Hey, Jay. Ready for another great show? What's up, Chris? Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. I do appreciate that, buddy. Pepsin Auto Transport. Brian Pepsin's here. Hey, hello, everyone. I'm out trucking from Iowa back to PA just to do it all over again. Well, all right, man. And I'm sure you're doing well. It sounds like you're cranking it out. That's awesome. Good job, Brian. And Ty is in here with the first super chat. Making it rain. Thanks, buddy. I sure do appreciate that. Ty, you helped me make it rain. It means a lot. That's right. If you have a super chat, you can share a super sticker, promote your company. We'll give a shout out. I might even do something crazy, right? Because I got the prompts, right? What prop? Huh? Okay. The dispatching live props. Okay. Give props, get props. That should be the slogan. Gary P is in here from LA. What's up, Gary P? Thanks for saying hello from Los Angeles. How's the traffic? What's going on? John Larrick is here. What's up, John? Thanks for tuning in and saying hello. Really do appreciate it. And we've had some great, some great carrier stuff. So on demand, concierge, flatbed, single car moves. That's one area. I try to move it around, as you see. Well, we had transporter tax savings in December, and so yeah. So if there's something you're looking for, let me know. autotransportintel@gmail.com. Yes, we just grabbed 10 cars from one dealer. Yes, and that's awesome. This single car moves. The thing is, with digital auctions, single car moves are on the rise. And with COVID, all right, you don't need me to go into it. I'm not going into the history of COVID. Never again. Flow Transport Solutions, LLC. We are new to the page. We'll be looking for a dispatcher soon. There it is. Flow Transport Solutions looking for a dispatcher. Here's what you want to do, Flow, is join us on Thursday at noon Central Time. So go ahead and get somebody get the pen and the paper. And let's see, cheeseburger, fries, and dispatching live, noon Central Time on Thursdays. And we'd love to hook you up with a dispatcher, and you can see how we operate. And it's a fun show, it's an informative show, it's a crazy show, really crazy. Give us a call, Flow Transport. We can explain what we do. There it is. Well done, Sue. Right on it. That's awesome. We're going to stay here for another minute or so. Then we're going to go to the next segment. Industry news starts in about a minute or so. So if you have anything else you want to live chat, if you got a question, if you want to give a shout out, if you want to give props to get props, that'd be great too. Otherwise, here's what we're going to do. I think its time has passed. The Lazy Susan keeps on moving. LLC. All right, we're going to go on to some industry news here in a second, so thank you guys so much for tuning in to Auto Transport Intel on Tuesday nights live. And you got something you want to share, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Maybe you've got an idea for a future show. I definitely want to talk to you. Stick around. Industry news is next.
Superflow Systems is excited to introduce DispatchCenter.com, a full-service load board for brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, featuring integrations with Truckify mobile app and iTruckPay. Use Route Scout technology to build your routes. Maximize truck capacity. Stay loaded at the highest available revenue with the least amount of driving miles. Tell us your lanes. Loadification will alert you to new loads posting in your route. Views instant load notifications sent with Book Now features. Search and book loads directly through the Truckify mobile app. Brokers and shippers, post your loads to Dispatch Center. Give authorized carriers the opportunity to instantly book your loads. Dispatch Center powers the Truckify mobile app, allowing instant load assignment to the driver. Truckify will send inspection reports, geo-located pickup and delivery photos, BOLs, and invoices back to the broker. Brokers, shippers, carriers, and drivers, Dispatch Center, and Truckify have what you need to be more profitable every day.
That is Dispatch Center Superflow Systems, and you see the link in the live chat. If you're not signed up yet with Dispatch Center, do that. And then let us know what you think, you know. Do you like Dispatch Center? Do you have feedback? Are there features that you're liking? Are there features that you're missing? You know, everything is great feedback. That's one of the reasons we do Auto Transport Intel. It's a community opportunity to get together, share information, rather than, you know, the one-way shotgun blitz and you're out, you know, and then you're on your own and you're wondering, you know, what is this? How does this work? And we cover this information. So if you've got something you want to learn more about, and I saw in the live chat, you know, yeah, Finest Towing Recovery wants to talk about fuel prices. Let's do that next week. Let's do that on Groundhog's Roundtable. And yeah, Ty's on it. Ty, you made a note because I'm in the shoot. I'm going in industry news. I'm doing it. I'm going to go into industry news. Okay, here we go. Tonight's show. Slide number 1 of industry news is always what is tonight's show. This is episode 174 in a row. Yo. So this is it, man. This is on-demand DRAIVER delivery with Anthony Monteiro. He's the COO. Now, Anthony was here. Oh, I think I have a slide for it. Oh, not that slide, Jay. Okay, so Anthony was here in September. We did a show about car home delivery. Who delivers the car? And Anthony, man, that was a great presentation. So we're going to do a follow-up tonight. It's been, 5 months? We're going to find out what's new, what's shaken. And there he is. There's Anthony Monteiro. And you know, one of the things, this is really smart. He likes to, one of the ways he presents is he talks about how to compete with Carvana. Man, that is so smart, dude. How to compete with Carvana. So that is that's a tagline. I'm sure it's got more of that because you know what? Carvana's everywhere, right? Carvana is so everywhere that Carvana is now in car hauling. And who would have thought? And some people, are there still people that don't think that's true? Oh, Mo Frere, Carvana is most certainly in car hauling. CarMax is in car hauling and Concierge. Are they serious? 24-hour test drives? So you got Carvana, CarMax, Assertus. Look, Assertus. This was put out today, I think, on LinkedIn. Top 21 remote auto services. Home delivery, test drive, trade-in, vehicle return, recall, sales, remote purchase, extended warranty, VIN inspections, emissions, smog, title, registration, vehicle cleaning, sanitization, care and maintenance, oil changes, tire rotation, auto repair, storage, vehicle tracking. Dude, it's a lot of stuff. It is the year of the hybrid. That's why I've been saying it. And you hear hybrid more and more around. So it's happening. This is the year of the hybrid. Physical and digital, etc. We talk about the ecosystem so that tonight, I think, you know, where services meets the dealer, the shipper, the carrier to service, etc. You get the picture. It's car home delivery. You know, I know sometimes I confuse the conversation. Ty's talked about the back of the store, the transport parking lot. Jay's talked about the front of the store, talking about online car buying. The two meet more and more. There it is. It used to just look like the tow guy doing his job. But you're seeing this image more and more in auto transport. Whether you like it or not. It's not about liking it or not. It's about knowing what's happening. DRAIVER knows what's happening. That's why DRAIVER is listed as top 10 in the top 10 companies to watch in auto success. There it is, DRAIVER, in good company, leading the charge. And you know they're not alone. Mannheim enhances concierge service. Now, when I saw concierge, I was thinking single car pickup and delivery. Really what they're talking about. Complimentary concierge inspection guarantee. But still, there's an overlap there, so I shared it. All right. But Sweetie Boy Delivers definitely in the concierge space. On LinkedIn, announcing March 1st, they are growing to a new shop. And excited, Sweetie Boy Delivers. They're going to be on the show here in the future. A Tuesday night coming near you. So, I saw this. Here are all the Super Bowl ads that have been released so far. Okay, wait for it. Vroom. Vroom has their first Super Bowl ad. Used car retailer, and yes, another first-time Super Bowl advertiser, Vroom, to show the benefits of contact-free at-home car delivery. But Jay, is it really auto transport? Yes, it is. It is. It overlaps, and companies are getting deals because they're also doing the final mile, which some companies require. They just want it. They want the whole thing taken care of. That's why, I said it, Anthony makes the circuit. He's going to be at Ted Ing's FixedOps Roundtable, February 9th, 10th, and 11th is the roundtable. Anthony's going to be there. Here's more information on that. Go to FixedOpsRoundtable.com. Claim your complimentary seat. What's up, Ted Ings? That's right. You haven't had enough FixedOps Roundtable yet? Ed Roberts, he's here tonight. He'll be a guest speaker at the FixedOps Roundtable. Tully Williams, he's here tonight. He'll be a speaker at the FixedOps Roundtable. What is going on here, Jay? And Paul Meyer. I just want to say shout out to Paul Meyer. That's Ted Ings in the middle. That's Paul Meyer on the left. Paul couldn't be here tonight. He was invited, but he just wasn't available. So shout out to Paul. Thank you so much for everything you do. Man, another one? FixedOpsRoundtable.com. Seriously. Go register, get signed up. Put it on your calendar. While I'm speaking of events, here's another one for you. Hey, what is this? Anybody know what this is? This is Cox. Cox Automotive is there. Today was day 2 of their 10-day, that's right, 10-day live event. Cox is having a 10-day live event. On day 4, is this day 4? When is this? What day is this? Oh, this is Thursday. It's right there, Jay. On day 4, on Thursday, what are they going to be talking about? Delivery services. Yesterday, they kicked off the Cox Automotive live event, Cox Automotive State of the Industry. I wanted you to see what it looked like. Man, it's a major event. I mean, to me, it almost looks like, it's like, you know, what's up, NADA? It's Cox Automotive time. So, you can go to coxautoinc.com, sign up. It's a free event. And now, here's the downside. Downside is this. I think day 1 was all live, and I think all the other days are all pre-recorded. I'm not 100%. I might be speculating live. That's just what I'm seeing. But there's still a lot of information. You know it's a lot of brands. And it's the first time they've done it, I think. And it's pretty cool platform. And everything, you can watch all the recordings. So you can miss the whole thing and then just watch the recordings when it's over. Jonathan Smoke, he had a great presentation. He always does a great job. And so, yeah, no, there's really a lot of stuff to check out. This got my attention. This was this today? I think it was today. Talking about title and registration. Talk about a hard part of the automotive transaction to fulfill. You really got to be on your game. There's some numbers, and check it out. Go check out the leveraging technology through the back office on day 2, dealer track, registration and title. Speaking of great live events, here's another one. Automotive Logistics was on Auto Transport Intel to talk about their event, Automotive Logistics Supply Chain North America Live, which actually starts next week. And that's Christopher Ludwig. You know Christopher Ludwig. If you don't, watch the video. Find out more. Man, he knows a lot. And when the trade shows are live, he's up on stage. He interviews the OEMs, hosts the panel. Total pro. He's awesome. And we do have a discount code. I believe it's ATI 30 when you go to sign up for Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain North America Live. We do want to help. Here's a question they posted on LinkedIn. Will North America succeed or fail in ramping up production of lithium-ion batteries and electric vehicles? Now, seems like a loaded question. I think I know the answer. But there it is. There's question number 3. Look for the other questions. Look for that live event. Great information coming out of Black Book. Thank you, Paul the Machine of Black Book. What's happening in the retail world? Have you seen this news? Stellantis. PSA Group and FCA have merged to become Stellantis, making them the newly created company, the 4th largest automaker in the world. That's something to pay attention to. Also, we had TruckTractorTrailer.com on Cars on the Move last Friday. Are you shopping for equipment? Dude, no longer do you need to book a flight and go see a trailer in the middle of nowhere only to realize this is totally wrong. This thing's messed up. This is not a good deal. Don't do that anymore. Just go online. Go to TruckTractorTrailer.com. They'll be back. That'll be cool. We're going to learn more. That was Friday. That was Friday. This is how you get your car shipping news on Tuesday nights. You watch Auto Transport Intel. Dude, do not be left alone at Odessa. I told you I'd work it in here. Yes. Yes. Feel the burn. Okay. No, seriously though, Wednesday, that's tomorrow, the importance of vehicle information and buying digitally. That's going to be a good one too. Put it up on the big screen. This is Auto Transport Intel. It's Tuesday Nights Live. It's the car shipping business channel. You never know what you'll learn. Really? Another one, Jay? I just threw that in there for comedy. No, it's 10 days. 10 days, dude. It's 10 days. 10 days of information. Still confused? Go to autotransportintel.com. Click sign up. Become an ATI insider. Talk to Ty. Talk to me. Join the roundtable. We got another one coming up next Tuesday night. Sure, true that. So anyways, here, I'll tell you what. Here's more information about it. We'll be right back for the second half.
Hey, it's Ty, transport guy. Hanging out in the transport parking lot always. If you want to learn to grow your business, I think you should probably go to ATI Insider, sign up for free. Don't give anybody any money. And with that, you get, I think you get a 20-minute phone call, which usually turns into a little longer than that. You get to join the roundtable, which is once a month. And at the roundtable, what we do is we get pretty detailed about how to build your business, how to connect with dealers, how to connect with auctions, how to build a lane. If you're new, if you saw a YouTube video and says, I can make $1 million in a week and I want to get into car hauling, Ty, and maybe you own a Stinger, maybe you own a little rollback. Man, how do I figure this out? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? What do I need? How do I do it? Get to make relationships with other carriers. It's kind of not a one-size-fits-all. It's here a little bit about you. Go to the ATI Insider. Get signed up. I can help you. I really can.
Man, that one kills me. If you saw a YouTube video that said you can make $1 million, there's two really common themes that we hear about. One is the new car hauler entrant that does think that he's going to make bank. I was talking to a guy about this today. I was talking to a carrier that was talking about selling a trailer. And the thing is, he's got a 4-car Easy Kaufman. And he gets all these calls, and they get so excited that the trailer's available because they're going to make a ton of money because they saw a YouTube video. That's number one. And then number two is, actually, same guy was talking about it, carriers, you don't have to just rely on brokers to make all the customer leads and make all the deals. You can do that in-house. You're the one with the truck. Let's talk about it. So those are the things we talk about on the ATI Insider, on the roundtable. We really do want to talk to you. We can help. Part 2, industry news. When the chips are down, big tech's needs put dent in car output. So you've heard about this. Microchops. See, there it is. Microchops. Is anybody keeping track of the words that I missaid? Microchops. Microchips are causing headaches across the industry. Subaru in Indiana, Ford Motor in Louisville, Toyota Motor in San Antonio, Nissan, the FCA, 2 North American plants, Honda Motor. What is going on with the microchips? Well, it's not going away quickly, apparently, and apparently the root of the cause is COVID, and we live in a society where we have so many, PlayStation PS5s or, whatever, that somebody's got to, the microchip's got to go somewhere. And I guess the PS5 instead of the car in some of these cases, I don't know. Supply wrinkles will linger into the second quarter, possibly even the second half of the year. And what's interesting, this is a great headline. Tight chip supplies could persist for as long as a decade. Really? That's Automotive News China. That's very interesting. Okay. VW is looking to claim damages from suppliers over chip shortages. Always. VW. You're always going to have... Because business, you get damaged and, man, somebody's going to have to pay for this window. VW was in talks with alternative suppliers of semiconductors, but there were concerns this could lead to higher prices. Always leads to higher prices. So there you go. Automakers around the world are shutting assembly lines due to problems in the delivery of semiconductors. And then a political statement. Anyways, we already... Okay, I think we got it. Next. Shares of Evergrande's electric car unit popped 67% after raising billions to compete with Tesla in China. What? Anyways, I point this out. We already talked about Niello and Xpeng Motors last week. Now you put Evergrande on the list. Next. Electric car maker BYD sells $3.9 billion in stock after Tesla-led rally quintuple prices. We got another one, BYD. Never heard of that one. Oh, the automaker is backed by a legendary investor, Warren Buffett. He's seen shares surge more than 400%. Wait a minute, Warren Buffett's getting into cars? Well, hold the farm, because Bill Gates... Wait a minute, this isn't about cars. Bill Gates is about to change the way America farms. My point is this. Yes, Jay has a point. My point is this: when you see somebody already very wealthy getting into something new, it's time to pay attention. What? That's right. Warren Buffett is in electric cars. Bill Gates is getting into farming. Oh, wait a minute. And cars? Microsoft joins forces with GM and Cruise to build self-driving cars? Wow. Honda's in there. GM's in there. That's very interesting. And, President Biden will make entire 645,000 federal vehicle fleet electric. Now, regardless of what you think, I know. Put that opinion away for a second. He's going to replace the entire U.S. federal fleet with electric vehicles made in the U.S. Electric vehicles made in the U.S. The U.S. federal fleet consists of 645,000 vehicles. This includes civilian vehicles, military vehicles, post office vehicles. He's going to make them all electric. Wow, that's gonna. Who's gonna be? Who's the transport? Who's got the transport contract on that? Talk about that on Cars on the Move. Now, this is in the EV movement. Shell buys European electric car charging firm Ubitricity. Okay, a major provider of electric vehicle charging points in Europe. Don't worry, I'll get there. It'll give Shell ownership of the biggest public EV charging network in Britain. They've also got networks in Germany and France. And Shell is in America, which means we will see Ubitricity where? In America. Okay. Apple has the means to disrupt the electric vehicle space. Yes, we've been hearing about the Apple car. I don't know. Was that out of order, Jay? Ford recall of 3 million vehicles to cost $610 million. Wow. 3 million vehicles? There can be some transportation in that. Who's got that contract? For Takata airbag inflators that could rupture. The recalls will cover various vehicles from 06 to 2012. Ouch. Takata inflators have resulted in deaths of at least 27 people worldwide. Okay, those vehicles are, here we go. Whoops. We've got Ford Ranger, Fusion, Edge, Lincoln, Mercury Milan, MKX, Mazda, B-Series vehicles. That's a lot of vehicles. 3 million vehicles. Look for it. Transport it. By the way, looks like road rage. Driver training for protest mitigation is the new normal. This is seriously This is a recent, as if there wasn't enough. You know, can you put on your ELD was in protest? Why am I using a BlackBerry? That makes no sense. This firm introduces sanitizing equipment and training. I know sanitization isn't anything new, is it? But Contagion Busters, their process employs UVC frequency light. Interesting. So put a laser in the truck, make it clean. Car Global launches Privacy PAM to bolster digital transformation. Privacy with ACEs, you know, autonomous, connected, electric, shared, ACEs, ACES. Privacy is never going to stop being a thing. So here's Privacy PAM to join Safety SAM. Car is committed in their responsibility to safeguard privacy and security of customers' information and data. We do talk about compliance every Wednesday at noon on DOT Compliance. Please join us tomorrow at noon Central Time, live on YouTube. Thursdays is Dispatching Live. That's where we talk about load board search advice. Please do join us for that. And Friday, we got something special happening Friday. We've got Tim Skatellis. It is the first of our new monthly segment on Cars on the Move. The last Friday of every month, Tim Skatellis and the Melting Block of Ice. You know, I do believe, and Tim is from Max Digital. Dealers, auctions, carriers, transport, inspections, remarketing, etc. I want to say it was on Auto Transport Intel when he first said Melting Block of Ice. I don't know, but it is his. Tim, the Melting Block of Ice is yours. So come on down to Cars on the Move with the Melting Block of Ice with Tim Skatellis. Friday at noon. This is going to be an awesome show. So excited. Here's a taste. Okay, I'm going to change the slide in 3, 2. That's what's happening Friday. Just a taste. Now, next Tuesday night is Groundhog's Car Hauling Roundtable. I really like the graphic because the groundhog is saying join us. He's either saying it or thinking it. But it will be Groundhog's Day, February 2nd. Next Tuesday is Groundhog's Day. Wait, didn't you just say that? So join us for the Groundhog's Car Hauling Roundtable. Grow your business. Talk to carriers. Talk to dealers. Talk to brokers. We're going to talk about fuel, insurance, cents per mile, etc. That's a shot from the last time we did it. The goal is we're going to make it even bigger. So please do join us. It's going to be great. I'm excited about that too. Then in 2 weeks from tonight, we have Carketta Vehicle Reconditioning. What's Carketta? Tune in and find out. It's software. It's reconditioning. Did you see the ARI Fleet Management Show last week? Man, that was awesome. I loved it so much. And it's relevant to the show tonight. This is the Car Shipping Business Channel. I'm Jay, your host. You're watching Auto Transport Intel on Tuesday nights live. Please do feel free to say hello in the live chat at any time. Ron Sestak is here. What's up, Ron? Anthony Monteiro, he's in here. Oh, wow, he's giving stock recommendations. I am not surprised. That's awesome, Anthony. Well, I'll tell you what. Put away the stocks because, Anthony, you're going to be live on Auto Transport Intel here in a couple minutes. Right after this, actually. And then stick around. We're going to be live with Anthony Monteiro, COO of DRAIVER Vehicle Delivery Logistics.
Even with all the tools at our disposal, there is still about 48 million empty miles in our network. Empty miles happen when driver Bob makes his delivery and returns home without freight. After all, there aren't cars just waiting for delivery on every corner. But there is non-automotive freight, and our network is already active around the country. So what if Bob could leverage his trailer to deliver something other than cars? We searched high and low to find a way to do this within regulations, and we found it. We can do this now with current equipment, and we're working on innovative new trailers that will deliver even more cars and more freight. This is a total game changer, and here's the math. We're already paying the cost of those 48 million empty miles, and with no revenue to show for it. We can make $1.50 to $2.50 in revenue per mile with dry freight. Since dry freight is not as specialized as automotive, backhauls can be found without adding miles to Bob's trip. This means Jack Cooper will make even more profit, and our drivers will make even more money. It also means fewer miles in America's delivery network and lower carbon emissions for the country. Call it a win-win-win-win for driver Bob, for Jack Cooper, for America, and for our investors. We're Jack Cooper, driving innovation for the 21st century.
Hey, welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. I'm Jay, your host, and it's right on time. Do you see that? It's 8:40. I said in the welcome, there it is, at 40 minutes into the show, COO Anthony Monteiro of DRAIVER. Well, I'm excited because we're right on time. You're right on time. If you're just joining us now, you're right on time because here is Anthony Monteiro, COO of DRAIVER. And Anthony, can you see me and hear me okay?
I can see you. Can you see me?
I can see you. I can hear you. Perfect.
Sweet.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. You were here in September. I was just checking out some of that show.
Yep.
And so I'm excited to have you back. And so please do say hello to the Tuesday Nights Live audience and tell us a little bit more about yourself and DRAIVER.
Sure. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining. I hope you got that stock tip. Jay brought up the electric vehicle craze that's going on in that company, Blink. Watch that company. But hey, I'm from DRAIVER. We have a drive-away service. We use contract drivers. We work with dealers. We work with big box delivery trucks like U-Haul and Penske and a lot of rental car companies. So we're able to take our logistics platform and move vehicles with drivers. And that's really what we do. We coordinate a driver to show up and move a vehicle, whether it's a home delivery. And that's kind of the big thing we'll be talking about tonight is home delivery, service pickup and delivery. We'll be talking about that on Tedding's FixedOps Roundtable that you brought up. I got a great guy, Shawn Petley's going to join us in a little bit. He's a CMO over at a group called Step One Automotive. They've got, I don't know, it's 22 or 23 dealerships between South Carolina through Florida. And they started off just moving vehicles around from their recon lot to their retail stores in back. And they were gonna buy big trucks and hire drivers and flatbed them all over the place. And, we came in and showed them what we could do and, saved them a couple $100,000 to get in the game, saved them all kinds of money because they don't just have drivers standing around waiting to say, hey, do I have something to move today? They use them on demand. And that's what we do. And we do it really well is we coordinate that on demand. I need 2 drivers today to move 5 cars, or I need 50 drivers to move 55 box trucks. Whatever the math is, we'll figure it out and we'll go ahead and make that happen for our customers.
I made a couple notes while you were talking about some of those things. Because you make great points about how to really view the magnitude of this thing. And it seems like when I hear you talk, it seems like, did you get in this space before this was even talked about? How long?
Oh yeah, way before. This is a 5-year building software, figuring out the logistics of vehicle movement and driver coordination and rendezvous points. We have to coordinate drivers meeting together at one place. So think about the traffic, or a car won't start, or a truck won't start, or the battery's dead, or traffic or an accident. And, it took us a while to figure out that math and those logistics around it. Now throw in, I have to meet Mrs. Smith in her driveway at 3:15 because we're swapping keys because we're going to do a little bit of paperwork. Give her the new vehicle, pick up her trade, and she may not have got all of her items out of it, and now we have to maybe wait for that to happen before we can take the trade. So a lot of logistics, planning all of these various movements that happen at massive scales across the board between car dealers, fleet companies, delivery companies, regular businesses that just need to have fleets and just want to get their vehicles serviced on a regular maintenance, and they don't want to use their own personnel to do things like that.
I saw a presentation, it's never left my mind, where a gentleman was, and I don't know if he didn't, I don't know what he does, what he knows or didn't know at the time, but he was talking about how dealerships can get into transportation, and they just set aside such money for equipment, set aside such money for staff. And I think you and I both would have sat there watching going, what is he talking about?
Right.
Why would you encourage any dealership to do that?
Well, you wouldn't, right? Would you encourage a dealership to be a TV production studio? Would you encourage them to, do anything where you would be better off any day to outsource that work to a trusted partner that can do it for you? But you're not going to go invest in, a $500,000 studio production cameras to do your TV spots. You're going to hire a production studio to do it. Why wouldn't you hire somebody that's going to move your vehicles around, especially today when I don't know how many I need to move, right? As the day goes on, I might need to move 50 or I might need to move 5. Guess what you have to staff for if you need to move 50? I need to have enough people to move those many vehicles at that time in the given time span that I have. Just order it on demand. Simple.
TV production, by the way, let me check my audio here. TV production is such a great example. That is classic. You could start using that in presentations because it drives home why would you get into a business that's outside of your core business. And as I like to say, because if I could send the guy an email, I'd say, why don't OEMs own all their own trucks? Why do OEMs hire auto transport companies?
100%.
Right.
100%. Right. There's example after example. People that know me know that just before I started this company with my partners, I ran a company called Elite CRM, which is one of the biggest CRM companies in the automotive space. We had 4,000 clients. CDK came and bought that company. And now they have 6,000 dealerships around the country. But when we were talking to a dealer about CRM, they didn't sit there and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to hire my own team of developers and build software so I can manage my customers. They leverage the platform of professionals. That's all they do all day long is we figured out the best way to follow up with a customer. We took that same theory and knowledge into vehicle movement logistics and said, let's figure out the best way using software to complete these vehicle movements at the least amount of time with the least amount of drivers. And what we really do best is eliminate the chase vehicle, because the chase will kill you, because it takes 2 drivers and 2 cars to move one thing, right?
Right.
I really want to move one vehicle with 1 driver, and I want to continue to connect those dots as I can go. And what we figured out is one of our big partners, a press release came out last month, is Uber. And we use Uber not only to help dealers and our customers move their cars back and forth, or maybe their employees, but we connect drivers from one location to the next. So instead of backhauling a driver from point A to point B, we'll where that termination point is, an origination point, and we'll hop that driver over just a short amount of hop.
And by the way, I want to say this because there's a time and a place for growth within the company, acquisition, etc. But getting into equipment and systems and staff and logistics, etc., maybe baby steps is the right way to go. And that's why, as a service provider, you say, we can handle that. Let's talk. We'll walk you through the process. And whether you need 30 people tomorrow and one guy on Thursday, right? You can throttle that as needed. It's part of what we do. And we're all familiar with the gig economy,
Sure.
right? You're tapping into that gig economy. So it seems like your timing is great.
1,000%. And, it doesn't have to be our drivers either, which is what's really cool and our clients love is they may have 5 drivers or 6 drivers. Our platform, all they have to do is download the app, and we can manage their drivers. Now we've got accountability, because think about before, if you're in the automobile industry and you toss the keys to Bob to go drop off a car or pick up a vehicle, you don't know how long it takes him. You don't know where he went. You don't know if he's on a joyride. You just have no accountability of it. And now you simply just say, hey, Bob, if you're going to move our cars, here's our app. Before you walk in the vehicle, scan it. I want you to take a couple of pictures and move it. And then we'll track it. We know where Bob is. We know where Bob went. We know how long it took. And then we can start to optimize it, because next time when it's Bob's turn to move a vehicle, we'll know approximately how long it will take. And we can say, well, it's only going to take him 45 minutes. As soon as he gets back, I'm going to dispatch him another vehicle to move. I don't have to have my team of employees, my staff, sitting there trying to calculate, when do I give the keys to Bob? How long is it going to take him to be back? Where the heck is Bob, right? So you have, imagine all of these departments now that service always did a little bit of this service pickup and delivery. Mostly Highline dealerships were pretty good at it, right? And they had a process and they had it down. On the sales side, not so much. All they ever did was dealer swaps, right? Maybe some sister store to sister store. The auction always brought them the cars. The car haulers that are on the show today came by and picked up a load to take them to the auction. So they never really had this demand or need to coordinate. I need to take a vehicle to someone's house at 3:15 and pick up trade, right? So now they have this. Multiply that times their dealer swap, and now the servants at the Honda, Toyota, and Chevy stores are now in the same game as the Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche guys, where they're in the business of up and dropping off vehicles. Throw that on to a domestic or an import store all at once and watch what happens. It's absolute chaos. They can't, and nor do they think about this. Do you think the service manager is calling the sales manager going, hey, Anthony, do you have any vehicles heading towards Pensacola today, right? They're just not having that communication where we'll come in and say, just say where you want them to move and when they need to be moved by. Let us figure it out. You guys go back to work. You sell some service. You sell some more cars. We'll help you get those delivered.
What I also like is that not only are we're talking about a growing segment and dealers are being turned on to a better way of doing business, but also carriers, drivers, if you're looking for another way to grow your business, contact Anthony, learn more about DRAIVER. This is a growing business model. So this is another opportunity for, if you are looking for more work to transport vehicles, or what you're doing right now isn't exactly working. Maybe there's an opportunity here to grow a niche.
Well, absolutely, Jay. And, there was a couple of ads you put up earlier in the beginning of your show, and we're already working with those transportation companies. And some of those services that they offer, guess who's fulfilling it, right? So behind the scenes, we're doing a lot of this, what the long haul typically does not want to do, right? They don't want to try to get into the condo complex that's behind a gate that they have to take 5, 90-degree angle turns to get to where, to park the car or drop it off somewhere. So what we're doing is we're coordinating with the long haulers on the home delivery, where we might meet them at a Walmart parking lot, or, some place where they just simply stop, drop off 3 vehicles, and our drivers are already there to meet them. They get in the vehicles and they finish that job right to the customer's driveway.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. I didn't know that, because you made me think. I know that in traditional operations, many companies that want to provide that seamless A to B to C to D full transport have hired terminals, or rather tow truck companies with locations, and they're not cheap.
No, they're not cheap.
No.
And, you know, here's the other thing is we've been able to create this tasking type criteria of a driver. So a driver that's going to move a box truck from Chicago 2 states over is, I only care, or we only care, the company only cares if they show up on time, they drive the vehicle safe, they meet all the criteria, if they have their CDL license, and they follow the rules and they get that truck there safely and they get back home. It's a different skill set to take a Mercedes-Benz to a doctor in the hills of San Francisco, or to a guy in downtown LA that's a basketball player. It's a different skill set, and we're able to separate these different skills. Just like I have a CDL skill, I have a white glove skill. So, you know, if you think about the experience of what the customer may want to drop that car off in someone's driveway, you don't want the gentleman that's been driving all night long, he's been working all day, to have to come there. And the truck drivers, you know, a lot of guys on the call today, going to want to learn how to set the radio station in a Mercedes-Benz and spend 15 minutes or 20 minutes with Dr. Jones explaining to him how to use the vehicle. They don't, because they need to get moving and they need to keep that shipment on the road, because time is money in trucking transport, as we all know. Well, in our job, we build in that time, and the cost of doing that is already built into the flavor of that home delivery. Now, you mentioned Vroom. Well, guess what? Vroom charges $599 to take a car to someone's house. And it doesn't matter if it's 10 miles or 20 miles, it has to be in that marketplace. We can typically do it for $120 at the far end of expensive to do a home delivery, normally around 50 or 60 bucks. Think about how much money they're making on top of what they're selling the car for, just on their transportation delivery fees.
And it's an interesting point, you know, because branding comes up. Branding is its own, I don't know how to get into the branding aspect because it sounds complicated. Maybe it's not. But the documentation part, it makes me dizzy thinking about all of, seriously, to fulfill, let's say someone's buying a car and they're out of state, all the DMV, the title and registrations, the car stopped 3 times, maybe there's a military move and they changed businesses. I mean, all the things that come into play. Yeah, that is not just A to B auto transport. And
no, it's not. And we'll do the paperwork too. So that's another, like, if the client says, I need paperwork on this deal, it's a task we add to the driver. Says, okay, I have to pick up this vehicle and I have to go see the sales manager to get a folder. And they have the little, you know, tabs to sign. They'll explain to the driver what they need to do. They'll take it to the customer's house, go through the paperwork, sign it, put it back in the envelope, get the keys to their trade, drive the trade back. So that whole process can be automated through platforms like this without a lot of training or staffing. Now, you mentioned branding. This is news, but we just it looks like we're going to get the patent. We own 9 patents, by the way. So we've been doing this a long enough time to have issued patents on what we do. Logistics software of putting a contract driver in a vehicle and managing them to a pickup and delivery, and then connecting multiple points. So there's 9 different patents that make that up. The next one that looks like we're going to be issued is this really cool gear, right? So you know your ATI logo, my DRAIVER logo, in a hat, on the patch of a shirt, connected to the app. So the driver is driving for, you name it, Domino's, ABC, Lexus, their shirt will light up and their hat will light up with the company that they're actually doing that service for.
It's weird. The light bulb was just going on as you were describing it, because I've seen that, right? Where you've got an app and it's connected to a shoe.
Yes.
I guess somehow, and the shoe. That makes so much
So
sense.
here's
What do I have, a closet with like 20 jerseys?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And here's the cool thing about the patent is it's very specific to the gig worker that's doing that job, and the job that they're on will determine what lights it up, and they can't change it. It's not like I go on my app and I light my shoe up, or I do these spellings on my hat. It's very specific to that gear in the job that you're on. So pretty cool stuff. We're excited about things like that. And, these are things that come out of new businesses that come out of, changes in marketplaces like we just are going through here with the pandemic, and the massive influx of businesses saying, I need your help to move my vehicle. The last ad you saw, pretty cool, right? They're using space on haulers to move freight, right? Brilliant, right? We do the same thing where now we're saying, I can get a part for you. I can pick up a package. I can take the customer paperwork because I'm already moving in that direction, and I have capacity in this vehicle to put a box on the seat or in the trunk or in the back of the truck. We just did one where a driver was going from store A to store B, sister stores, and they needed 4 tires to come back in the other direction. They had a pickup truck, so they loaded the pickup truck up with the 4 tires. The driver swapped keys and hauled it back. It was a 1-to-1 move, so no back haul, no chase driver, and they hauled their parts back at the same time in the same move. 0 additional cost to that company because they were just paying for the driver's time to move, and they utilized the system to maximize their efficiencies.
Amazing. You just made me think of the ID portion of that too. Here's what I want to do is I just want to say hello in the live chat. I want to also get we're gonna get Shawn up in here. I'm gonna go ahead and invite.
Oh yeah,
Shawn.
This is gonna be good. Wait till you meet this cat. He's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm excited about it. And also, Gary had a question. That's what I wanted to read. BM's got some feedback for you for your FAQ page. But Gary asks, is DRAIVER in the LA market?
We are in the LA market.
Right. I figured you were going to say that. How many markets are you in?
While Shawn's coming on,
okay, yeah,
I will actually tell you exactly how many drivers I have active in LA.
Okay, so he's digging that. Hey, Paul Meyer is here.
Paul Meyer,
live from the hospital
room. What's up, big dog?
Hey, man. Thanks for saying hello, Paul.
All right, man. Hey, I got 852 registered drivers, and I've got 79 that have run trips within the last 24 hours.
Wow. Those are good numbers, man. That's awesome. Identification. Here we go. Where am I at? Identification. Because that's another thing too, right? People want to know who's the guy coming to get my car.
Sure. Right.
And so that's part of your system.
Part of the system. Not only that, identification in reverse. What does that mean? I'm taking a car to a customer that sent me an internet lead that I've never met before, have no record of this person. In the remote test drive, you talked about CarMax doing the 24-hour test drive. Am I going to drop the car off to the customer because they sent me an internet lead? Guess what we do? We send a link out to the customer on their phone. They click on the link through a text message. It asks them to take a photograph of their license. They take the license. We run it through AMVA. We validate that the license hasn't been tampered with by looking at all the holograms and all the letters and numbers. And then they have to look at their own phone. It does facial recognition, and it says that license and that face is the same person. It's a valid license, green light, hand them the keys, you're good to go.
Wow, that's amazing. Shawn.
There he is.
There he is.
Shawn Petley.
Can you see us and hear us okay, Shawn? He's checking his audio. And that's cool, man. He just joined. The doorbell just rang. So that is awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Can you hear us, buddy?
Shawn is the Chief Marketing Officer at Step One Automotive, and he's here. So while he's getting lined up there, Anthony. So what's your relationship with Shawn, and what's going on? What are you guys going to talk about?
Well, we don't want to get into that on a recorded show, but so listen, I met Shawn when I was running the dev team over at eLead, and they were a customer of our CRM product, and they were all, their managing partner Fernando was and is an amazing visionary of how to run an operation. These guys came in, and I was working with their previous owners. Their previous owners, God bless their soul, were old school car guys. Hey, brother, we can't hear you. Are you on mute? Check. Anyways,
Check. Yeah.
So they're kind of were old school. Fernando comes in with his team, buys out the whole group, brings Shawn in, and they start killing it. Right? They're just they're doubling business, tripling business. So we got to know each other, and Shawn was helping us test out new products. And when I started,
are you there?
There we are. Hey, what's up, Shawn?
Hey, Shawn.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Good. Can you see us and hear us okay? Somewhat. We lost him.
We lost him. I don't know if it's him or you or a bad internet connection.
It's interesting. Well, I noticed a couple hiccups when we were talking, but I'm hard lined in, so I don't know. Actually,
Can you hear us, Shawn?
But we don't have him. So what I might do is, while Shawn's getting that troubleshot out, why don't we bring in, and I'll go to the live chat. I'm going to bring in Ed, and I'm also going to bring in Tully, and they can join us.
Hey, look at this.
What do we got?
That's Tully Williams, the legend.
Here, let me show.
I got a Tully pin. If you don't have a Tully pin, you haven't made it yet.
Stay there. Show the pin again, because I was on the live chat. Let me see the pin. That's Tully's logo. Tully is FixedOps director at the Niello company, and Ed is FixedOps director at Bozard Lincoln Ford. And I just sent their invites. Now it's too late. I can't.
Let's see if we got Shawn's audio yet.
Are you breaking in and out? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we hear you now. We hear you. We got some audio.
Hey.
It's latent.
Do us a favor, Shawn. If you can see us and hear us, please say hello to the Auto Transport Intel Tuesday Nights live audience.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I hear you too.
And we got, I went ahead, so Tully is joining us. Ed is joining us. While that's happening, Anthony, Shawn, tell us more about, so how are you all working together?
Yeah, Shawn, tell them how we
DRAIVER.
got this going with the Recon store and what we're doing now.
Sure. Can you hear me clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's get into that. I mean, I don't know. Most people don't know about Step One Automotive, right? Let's start there with, 15 dealerships in Florida and Georgia, representing 16 brands. From FCA, the new rebrand of the FCA Stellantis. Volkswagen, Subaru, Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, Ford, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Combined, you're looking at 46% of the U.S. automotive, network of retail automotive sales. So really, DRAIVER, popped up with Anthony and I having multiple conversations of just, being in conditions where we can provide a very high level of service for customers based on, simplified, centralized, automated, and really convenient data-driven technology. Because the mission and vision of Step One is all about, empowering lives through easy ways of accessing mobility. So the mobility side is really where DRAIVER steps in and kind of bridges that gap, from A to B of transport, logistics, and all in between, because, we're in the people business. The automotive business is all about people, people-centric, and really connecting, with open hearts and minds, people to their wants and dreams and desires through cars and transportation. So for us, it matched, the vision of leveraging technology to really do something creative and challenge the status quo. So as we vetted out what the best operational opportunity was for us to increase, time to market, DRAIVER really put us in a condition where we could reduce cost, transporting vehicles from recon centers, to our dealers and back and forth. So it's been a very quick win for the company, and we're very happy with the success.
How did you do it before? Just internally, right? Somebody
Yeah, right. The basic porters or the detail guy or Shawn stepping in or whoever, right? Really, rolling up the sleeves and getting it done. And DRAIVER's on-demand ability just to pull that, which Anthony was talking about, that Uber, Grubhub environment, really also helps us with, the social responsibility of helping the community. Through the unforeseen, 2020, we really employed people, right? Leveraging the technology, leveraging that on-demand driver base, and putting people to work during a lot of this was very special to us with our social responsibility.
I was thinking that too. It's a great way to give the gig worker economy, which took a hit, a reboost, right? And as you talk about
right.
like DoorDash or Uber Eats, just another example of that. Because if you did it in house, yeah, you're gonna have people standing around, and then that's the beginning of the cracks forming in the organization. You know what? And this isn't gonna work. I can't stand around half the time waiting, for that one test drive or whatever.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And that's really important to us from our company. In our corporate philosophy is our drivers really are the bloodline to what we do. Our software, bar none, kicks everybody else's butt hard. And, it's not even close, but we still need those drivers. And what we saw with COVID, the drivers didn't want to drive people around in their cars, coughing and sneezing and potentially spreading that disease that we still don't know a lot about, but it was pretty scary for those guys. So they said, listen, I need to make some money, but I'd rather not drive strangers around in my own vehicle that I have to sanitize, I have to insure, and I have to take care of. Wait a minute. There's this company in Fort Walton Beach, Pensacola, in surrounding markets in Northwest Florida, where those drivers said, wait a minute, all I have to do is get in a vehicle by myself and drive it 2.5 hours and drive one back. And I worked 5 hours today. So where do I sign up? And of course we said the app, and it's really easy. It's only 4 pages and takes about 8 minutes. But, it fit perfectly into our philosophy of changing lives, not only, our driver network, but we feel like we're changing how people will interact with car dealers now and into the future. And, Shawn's taking his operation, I don't want to steal his thunder, but he's taking it to a whole nother level. If you go to their site, step1auto.com, you'll see what they're doing with vehicle home delivery, test drive, and service pickup and delivery. I mean, they are, I hate to use it because everyone says it, they're leaning in, and they're leaning in hard.
That's fair. Want to do this. Go ahead and introduce. We have 2 more gentlemen we've added. We've got Ed Roberts, FixedOps Director at Bozard Lincoln Ford. Ed, will you please say hello to the audience and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
How we doing? It's good to be here tonight. Ed Roberts, Fixed Operations Director, Bozard Ford Lincoln, down here in sunny St. Augustine, Florida. So it's nice to hear that DRAIVER's in Florida as well. See, we got my good buddy Tully on here as well.
That's right. Pass the baton to Tully. Tully, please say hello.
Hello and welcome, everybody. It sure is an honor to be on here. And hello, my good friend Ed. And Anthony, there we go. We did a great panel with Anthony. Is he a great host and sponsor of our panel that we had? But super excited to be here. And I would say the Windy, California. I'm Tully Williams from the Niello company. 100 years in business this year.
Wow.
And you all will be together again. So you just had an event. What did you have?
Well, it's pre-recorded. It was the TEDx Fixed Op. It was a pre-recorded session.
Okay.
So you'll see us. I think it's February 9th that session runs.
Okay, awesome. All right, that's what I was thinking about. And then you said that. I'm like, how many events do you guys have? But it's the FixedOpsRoundtable.com TEDx. That's a huge event that Ted is having.
I tell you what, he's got some amazing keynotes, right? I don't know if I can even say it, but there's a really famous person that's gonna be speaking at the event.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's cool.
I think he told me that as well, and I don't think he told me. I think he said I can't tell you who it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, and that person loves vehicles, man. They are a huge vehicle car nut guru. But we just, like I said, we just got together. We had a great session. You know what we talked about? We talked about service metrics that don't matter, right? All this crap that you measure and you beat guys over the head, and they go, why are you beating me over the head with this? It's actually counterproductive. And then my little spin on it was metrics that matter, right? Who knows what's your average cost per mile to move a vehicle? Can anybody answer the question?
And that hits right into auto transport, because you need to know your numbers. Maybe they're not perfectly precise today, but you're going to get there because you can at least ballpark, right? You've got reasonable estimates. I have a couple notes here of things that we want to talk about. And you said, Anthony, did you say you sign up on the app? Let's say a carrier or driver is interested in learning more how to work with DRAIVER. Where do you do that at?
You can do it right on our app. Go right on the App Store, Google Play, download the DRAIVER app. You can go on our website and click on the link to become a driver partner, and it will take you right to the form. You go through a process of scanning your license, your insurance card, answer a few questions. We'll run a background check, and then you'll have to do it. We make them do a test drive, a fake run a trip in your own car, and watch a few videos, and then you get certified, and you'll start receiving ding, ding, ding. We need you to move a car.
So I think I found it. So I went to your website just now, DRAIVER.com/driver partners.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's the one.
Oh, okay. And then I've got some of the questions about driver related pay. I can imagine that's regional, etc. How do you get information about that? How does
the pay is regional, right? So it typically runs around what the market is going to be for an Uber job or Uber Eats or DoorDash. It's a gig job. The difference is you don't have to carry the insurance on the vehicles that are moving. We do that for the drivers, and all the gas is reimbursed, or the company puts the gas in the vehicle so the drivers don't have to worry about supplying gas. Same thing with tolls. We even supply our drivers with a PEX card. PEX cards are pretty cool because, we love our drivers, but they are independent contractors, and some of them might not be, the salt of the earth, and sometimes people tend to want to steal things like gas. Well, we issue gas cards, these PEX cards, and they're really cool because they only disperse gas along the route that they have to travel to move that vehicle, and it will geolocate the actual gas station and only disperse the amount of fuel that we calculate that it will take based on when they got in the vehicle to complete the trip. So as soon as that gas gets dispersed, we scan that receipt and it matches to the geolocation of that gas station, and it's automatically approved and paid for through that PEX card. All
right. I lived up to a promise. I said I would talk about that, but something I want to ask. switching gears. FixedOps. In FixedOps, how does your service department interact with a service like DRAIVER? And Ed, I know you're doing mobile service work. I want to talk more about that. I want to shift the conversation over to some of that.
Well, I need to know more about DRAIVER, so I'm going to pass that to Tully because I know he just did a panel with Anthony. So I'm going to let Tully cover that first, and then I can tell you how it ties in with us.
All right, Ed, thanks. So, it's all about pickup and delivery that we're doing for our customers today. One thing we did learn with COVID is that, how do we make it easy for our customers? And as the Niellos did, we got into the pickup business. What DRAIVER is going to do is that having our own drivers is crazy hard. And there's a lot of management now. We have expensive software that we have purchased, red caps and clutches and so forth, to go out and help us with that and manage that. But there is a lot of times where you might not have drivers, or you have too many rides, and now we're calling up people and say, I'm sorry's. And he is going to help us provide the drivers for us to make those pickup and deliveries be successful.
Right. So have you, we're going to be in left field. Okay. We were in center field. Now we're in left field. So watch out for wild pitches. And as I always say, when I ask questions, I ask them because I'm curious. I don't always expect, I'm not looking for your client's name or, annual income or anything like that. But I'm curious, have you personally tried to manage this type of logistics in-house and found that, have you done that? Right.
So we did it two ways. First, we saw one of our service managers, that's tighter than bark on a tree and thought he's saving himself into a profit, used a spreadsheet. That did not work. I have 5 rides a day or 10 rides a day, and all of a sudden he got himself in a mess. And then the next step is you hire a company, or you use a red cap or a clutch software that costs you between $500 and $1,200 a month to help manage your drivers and rides. And you can't do it by yourself. Unless you're doing 5 or 6 rides a day, please don't. You're just going to make yourself a mess.
So we do it in-house.
Your business model's really interesting, Ed.
And we're doing multiples. So it does fit us a little bit, but ultimately we're pushing resources out. Now it's another group of people that we hired. We grew in staff during the peak of COVID as it was ramping up, because we shifted to a lot of pickup and delivery very early on. But I could certainly see where this could complement when one of our guys gets stuck in traffic and we're behind on schedule or whatever else, where it could pick up some elements that helps us keep things flowing smoothly.
I think complement is a good word because, right, how many mobile vans do you have now for your service department?
I have my 3rd one on its way to me.
Wow.
Right. And that is a unique, that is not a common to have a service department with their own mobile vans to go to locations to do work. That's not common.
Mm-mm. It's not common, but it's becoming more common. And there is a few dealers out there that does it, but they typically do it with one person. That's the driver, it's the technician, it's the whole 9 yards. Ours is done with 2. There is times where that vehicle can't be fixed in field and it needs to come back, so that second person can drive it back. And there's various reasons why there's 2, but that all ties into that as well. And if we need to deliver a vehicle back, because there is a delivery piece of that, deliver a vehicle back in an area that my van is heading to, they could take it back. He could pick up a second person and keep trucking on to this next one. So they do complement each other, and that's a benefit that we have that probably most don't. Because it's just a crew of people or additional people that you'd pick up to do those pickup deliveries. So DRAIVER would certainly fill those voids.
When you look at your personnel that you need to hire, you look at our stores here, you figure out we're probably doing 20 rides a day, and 20 means 20 people, which means 40 rides, is that we have 3 to 4 drivers per store. And if you're, our BMW store is quite busy, we might go to 5. You're talking a logistic nightmare. And this is where, why would we want to hire? I think I like Ed's idea. I think I'm probably going to keep a couple, but it would be really nice to have my main crew, and then I can rely on DRAIVER to sit there and pick up the slack, which I hope I have every day.
Yeah, and and that's really the sweet spot of what we're doing. We're looking at resources, which is human capital, right? Driver availability, and capacity. And then we look at the capacity and we say, okay, they've got 4 of their own. Here's all of the moves that we need to do that day. They cannot do it with 4. It's going to take 6, or it's going to take 7 today. So we will dispatch the 4 to do what they need to do, and our software will order they'll pick up that order, and then we'll outsource the other 3 drivers that we need that will come in and backfill what they need to get done in the course of the day. Maybe tomorrow they get really busy and they need 6 drivers, right? Or one of their driver calls out sick, or 2 of them go on vacation this week, or something happens where their capacity is really reduced. Then they reach out to the marketplace. Our software will figure all that out. It will say, what do you have for your capacity? What do you need additionally? Maybe you don't need any, right? We might say, hey, you can get all this work with only 3 of your drivers, send 1 home, right? Or have them do something else, because I'm going to maximize the 3 that you got today.
And that's where you, as an organization and a network, to go beyond, you're also doing parts,
yep.
Right? Like someone asked, is it, is it a drive-away company, right? Is DRAIVER primarily a drive-away service? And I'm going to guess that the answer is no, you're not primarily drive-away.
No, we're primarily logistics that happens to supply a marketplace of contract workers to do tasks. A task could be go deliver the paperwork. It could be go pick up and drop off a part. It could be I need to take 5 vehicles to auction, so send me 3 drivers, and 2 of them will be a chase. And it's really what task do you need to perform. And the cool thing is we can connect them all together, right? They don't have to be 1 at a time. It could be 80 of them thrown into the mixer, and our software will go, okay, this is how fast I can do this, and this is the resources I'm going to need to do it. Press go, and then everything gets orchestrated.
I think in our business is that, Ed and I realize that we can't say that every car will be done at 5 o'clock or at 3 o'clock,
possible
2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. And I think that when you look at trying to base and judge what you need for driver pickup, you can say, I'm going to get all those 20 people's cars back at 5 o'clock, and they all get done at 4:45. Okay, this is where we go in massive chaos. That's what a service manager deals with. And I think that when you look at like a company like DRAIVER, he is really going to help us in these situations of, I'm not going to say desperate, but desperate need at the end of the day.
Yeah, and what's cool about what Tully just talked about and what we solve is, let's say we're planning on a lot of work at 5, right? And typically that's kind of the norm. Maybe the influx comes at 3 where would easily adjust. But what we will do is we will look and work with them to say, in your service component scheduler, do you have any vehicles that need to be picked up tomorrow and brought back to your service department on a pickup, because I've got a drop off, right? And they might be in the same town or nearby each other. So what we'll do is we'll say, while I'm dropping that one off, I'm just going to hop the driver in an Uber for a mile, go get the other one and come back. That saves them the backhaul charge of an extra Uber or Lyft on that all the way backhaul, when I'm only can move the guy a mile instead of 10.
I wanted to ask, because when we look at home test drives, online car buyer wants their car, maybe you've got service pickup and delivery, you have all these categories of why you need the service. What are some of the highest reasons right now? Is it that they bought and they need it delivered? Is it that they want a test drive? Is it that they need service pickup and delivery?
So our biggest volume move is lot to lot. Our second biggest volume move is service pickup and delivery, right? lot to lot is by far our biggest request. And intra-dealer groups, we have a dealer group that moves 200 cars per day between their own lots, right? So I could pull it up on the screen and show you. Can I share this? Can I share a screen?
Yeah, I believe
Go ahead. You
so.
guys
Yes,
have a
please
quick
do.
conversation. I'm going to show you something great. Oh, hold on. Here.
Who wants an okay, cool. Yeah, and I was just thinking, and I was just saying, I mean, this is like Shawn, this is what Shawn could talk about.
This is exactly what we do with Shawn. This is exactly what we do with Shawn. And then Shawn's ramping it up, right? Shawn's taking it to a whole, I think it was in Living Color, there was a skit, they said a whole nother level. And they would just keep saying that, right? And Shawn is going like full in of, I'm delivering everything, home delivery, test drive, service pickup and delivery, all my lot to lot moves. So this is a real dealer, okay? And these are all lot to lot moves in 1 day's time. This is scheduled for tomorrow. So what we do is we say, you've got all these vehicles heading in this direction. You got 4 of them. So I'm going to originate drivers here, but you've got directional moves coming back here. So I'm going to put one of these guys in a car coming back here. I'm going to put another one in a car going there. Then I'm going to move him down in this direction. And then he's going to pick up a vehicle at the end of the day and bring it all the way back home. And they do that by clicking that. They load it all in and they click the button plan, and our software will go, how much resource do you have? And how do you connect all of these dots together in the most efficient and effective way, whether it's the driver of the company or it's an outsourced driver of our network driver, and it will plan all that. And then what you end up with is this trip creation, right? That will break all those components down into the best usable driver and return trip and chase car. Well, my network, I'm on here. So it's kind of going through these machinations, and it will coordinate how many drivers do I need? How many chase cars do I need? How quick, when can I get it by? While that thing's running through, I want to show you something else too. We talked about this. I just pulled this up, and these are 2 different dealers, and one of them is Shawn's, right? And I blocked out all the financial aspects of it. But cool. This is 2 different dealers.
Anthony, watch yourself.
Huh? Yeah, I blocked everything out, so you can't.
What are you showing, Anthony?
So this is right. So
yeah,
look.
This is awesome.
So
I'm getting
show you.
Called right now by the CEO.
Fernando. What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's getting zapped right now. Thanks, Ant.
Yeah. Listen. No, this is good. They can't see anything. This isn't Shawn's store. Forget it. It's not his store. But look at. It's not his. So look at. Average cost per mile, 63 cents. This guy's spending $2.46, right? One guy just got going and has some folks that are working for him that are super inefficient. We've been doing Shawn's deal for over a year now. We got him down to 63 cents per mile doing the same exact job. We'll watch this number come down significantly over time, right? 63 cents on a moved car is absolutely nothing. And I don't know. I broke my system and figures.
And that's
good.
That's 63 cents. That would be a gig worker gets in a car drive away. This isn't a loaded on a car hauler price per mile. Am I right?
That is correct. This is driving it away.
This is driving
right?
it. Yeah.
So, and then this is what you end up with is all of these trips that get planned out, where we're moving these vehicles with drivers, and their plan is go to 1, go to 2, go to 3, and you'll see this person's day is already planned for tomorrow. When they come in, they have their business already planned out to go pick up and drop these cars off way ahead of time. And then if something changes, we'll fix it on demand on the fly. Cool. It's cool.
With FixedOps.
So cool.
With FixedOps side, a lot of times is that, both Ed and I know majority of the time how many cars were coming in today. And I think it really helps when we have great software like Drive,
Plus some of this type of service.
is that we'll know what's happening and he can help plan better, because if we get to pickup and delivery and provide that great customer service, do we have to pick it up at 8 o'clock in the morning? We can pick it up at midnight, right? And I think
that's correct.
Learn and get better at it. I think that's going to be the next step.
And our drivers work through the night, right? It's not within a specific business hours. We move Penske trucks at scale, typically at night, because we can move them faster because there's less traffic, right? So we move those guys throughout the course of the night. So when they load balance their inventory, they show up and they got the proper amount of 32 footers and the proper amount of 27 footers in each one of their locations.
Well,
it's fun, cool stuff.
That is. Well, and that on that statistic, number one was lot to lot, right? Here's Shawn right here. We just got to see the graphics in the demo. And then number two, service pickup and delivery. So here it is. I mean, this is, we're right in the middle of what this business looks like at this time.
We really are. And, you know, partners like Shawn help us too, because they push us. They push us to the next level and they hold us accountable. You know, we had a couple of, in, you know, full transparency, Shawn called me one day and said, I need you to move 100 cars tomorrow because we got a hurricane. And I said, I can't move 100 cars tomorrow because there's a hurricane. You know, and the drivers didn't want to go work. So we're not the magic pill for every single scenario, but we moved as many as we could. And, you know, we helped, but we couldn't do that.
Actually,
so there is some planning involved.
But that's a great example of where, I mean, right, there's limitations, of course, but yeah, we don't have time to figure this out internally with spreadsheets.
That's right.
We need a service right now.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah. And it's not the same. Here's another thing I was thinking about. This is not the same thing as an auction drive away where a bus full of people get out at a parking lot and all jump in individual cars.
But it could be. So Ford called us to right before New Year, the week before New Year, and said, I need to move 1,600 vehicles from the factory to the port. I need them done in 3 days. We flew a fleet of drivers out there with our vans. We have some vans of our own. We drove them there, and they were the shuttle team, and we moved 1,215 of the 1,600 that they needed to move in a 2-day window. So it can be that, because on our app, we have the ability to get the gate pass right on our phone or dispatch it to the lead driver and go in and out of those auctions. And our software also will pin drop on a map exactly what gate they need to go to depending on the auction or the fleet lot where they're at. So the driver doesn't have to show up and go, hey, where do I go? Where do I go? We'll put them right at the right gate, and their driver app will take them directly to it with the gate pass on their phone.
So that's a lot of technological pieces as well as staff pieces. There's a lot going on there.
There's a ton.
You ever feel overwhelmed? I'm getting a little overwhelmed over here.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, how do you think I feel every day? But this has been a long road. The whole point is stuff like this does not come out of the woodwork overnight in a year. And you'll see some, I call them posers, out there going, oh, hey, we do this. And no, you don't. You can say that you do, but you don't. And when you start lifting up the covers and talking about what you actually do, there's a lot more to it. And the logistics piece of it is crazy. It's crazy. But if you don't do it, then you're spending extra money. And our goal is to save our dealers and customers money and do it more efficiently. Because otherwise, they'll find someone else to do it.
Is it getting easier then to, you don't have to work so hard to explain to somebody you solve problems that they don't want to try to solve internally?
It's way easier than 2 years ago. I'll tell you
there
that.
we go.
It's way easier, right? People are getting it. They understand what's going on. And you know what's happening? The guys that we talked to before that said, I'll do it myself, I can handle this, are calling us every day, or will email, or I just got a lead, the sales team got a lead last night on a guy that, was like, no way, we'll never do that. And, they're realizing one or two things. They either went with someone else that can't do it, right? That said that they did, or they tried to do it themselves and they're realizing that doesn't make sense, right? Those two things are happening right now.
And maybe somebody was able to do it, because I know, say not a year ago, 9 months ago, right? People were just happy to sell a car, right? Back when there was essential business and essential people. So now we're through that, and maybe at that time you could do it yourself, but you just gotten too busy. You can't do it yourself anymore.
It doesn't make sense from an ROI perspective. It doesn't make sense to try to do it yourself, because you'll never be as efficient as an AI planning software can be that's been learning things for many years, right? It's going to beat the best human every time. There's one guy who's a dispatcher that does about as good a job as the AI can do, but he's been doing it since day one too, because he, just like anybody who's super efficient at their job, they can outplay the machine a little bit. But your average everyday person that's got 9,000 other things going on, they don't even, why? Why do I want to try to find a driver, call him, text him, where is he, find the keys? I mean, why do you even want to do that? It's not what you do. Like I said, start your own production company at your dealership and film your own ads then, because why not? That's just as difficult.
And everybody gets their...
Shawn's flicking the thumb. He's probably got cameras in his conference room.
And then
Shawn, what are you going to do next with your relationship here, or what's your group going to do?
I'm sorry, you broke up. What was the question?
I said, what are you guys planning on doing next? Like, what's the next thing that Step One's
Yeah, I mean, we're going for the future. I think when you look at what's going on in the automotive landscape, it's not about Carvana. It's about the future. And what does the future look like? And what can you do to be in conditions where, we as, automotive are providing solutions to really complex problems? And how can you be smarter and more cost efficient and save money and provide a higher level of service is what it's all about, connecting those dots. So we're unlocking the power of digital retail, the ability to really be in conditions where we go after the bigger, broader, purpose of providing a high level of service. And Driver just connects that. Like, they get it. Anthony gets it. It's about culture. It's about, really mobility and what that looks like in, 2025, So it's a very interesting move.
Awesome, man. It's really cool.
I like that. Tully, Ed, please talk about what's next? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about that can you share your thoughts with us?
Well, I think pickup and delivery is the way of the future, that and mobile service, because it allows us to service on our customers' terms rather than our terms. And so my wheels are spinning, sitting here figuring out, man, I could bring 50% of my traffic in at a controlled time. And I can certainly tell you that my cost to move a vehicle is a lot more than 63 cents a mile. I don't know what it is, but I would guesstimate it to be about $3 a mile. And
probably about right.
Yes. And and I think we're pretty efficient at it, but we don't have intelligence helping us with it. So my wheels are spinning that I can control my traffic influxes.
I think that, Ed's spot on. Pickup and delivery to me is the biggest, I would say the biggest thing we've learned through COVID, and also getting ourselves efficient. But I think when we go into 2021, we need to learn all the things that we've learned in COVID. How do we get lean and mean? How do we provide that excellent customer satisfaction? Because what did we do when we had to lay everybody off? The world came to an end. We locked up the sales department. We started calling recalls. We started calling every customer that we knew and their aunts and uncles and said, please, 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 I love you. Please come in. So I think that what we've learned is how do we make it easy to do business with us? Do we need to call a dealership? Do we need to bring a credit card to a cashier's booth and wait in line? Do we need to sign 14,000 pieces of documents? Do we need to, come down and look at the car? Do I need all of this thing? I say no. I say our thumb has the power on the phone to say yes and no, to make an appointment, to get my car picked up. And I think the new service drive is the driveway of our customer. That's where I see, and great partners like DRAIVER is what is going to make us do it, because we as dealers cannot do it by ourselves. We need great partners, and I don't call them vendors, I call them partners, to help us get to that next level. And it's a slow process because, humans don't like to change. And we have to train, and we have to coach, and we have to mentor, and we have to make our employees happy and believe in it before it will work, and then they will make our customers happy.
I want to say that it seems that, say maybe 6 months ago or more, sales were down, service was down, dealers then adapted, sales are back up, service is back up. So everything you just said did happen. It is true. And spoiler alert, everybody ready? Spoiler alert. The Super Bowl ad for Vroom, I watched it. Okay, they actually showed it, which, I mean, why can I watch it? Super Bowl's not here yet, but I did watch it. What's the point of that? Right, that's what I thought. But
right.
And I don't like previews, but yeah, I'm gonna watch this. The ad it's a play on the dealer of whether it's 2019 or 1919, I'm not sure. But it's this, the customers of the dealership, and the dealer has like it's a James Bond villain with electric wires, and he's torturing the customer.
Oh my
God. The world flips over in digital graphics, and the guy sitting in his lawn with his wife, and Vroom pulls up and drops off his car.
Pretty cool.
Now, yeah, it is. It's great marketing, because cool. I don't think all dealerships are like James Bond's villains anymore. They probably are less and less all the time. So we have to proliferate the fear that they still are, and they're not.
That's an awesome point too, Jay. And think about what Vroom and Carvana are doing, right? These tech companies are coming into our space and gobbling up our real estate. They're gobbling up real estate of used cars. They're gobbling up transportation, and they're taking market share away based on one thing and one thing only: the convenience of a car showing up in your driveway. They don't buy cars any cheaper than we do. They pay more for them. They use the same banks. They don't have new cars. There's no OE backing. You might get a warranty, you might not. And they charge for it all. So how does the dealership world not just elbow these guys out quickly? Like, I'm talking 2 years. Carvana and Vroom are gonna, I believe, have a hard time, because guys like Shawn and Tully and Ed and their owners and their groups, and groups like Lithia that has Driveway now, and Sonic and Asbury, and all these major groups, CarMax and AutoNation, they're going to band together, use us or somebody, do this. And what's the advantage or attraction to Carvana at that point? I don't think there is one.
And I think you're spot on, because here's the issue that happens with Carvanas and Vrooms, is that where's the customer interaction? Where is, when I'm upset with my car, or I don't know how to pair my phone, who do they call? They can't call the Ghostbusters, right? If someone is, if the relationships that we build with our customers, they could call most of our service writers on Sunday night. They'll probably pick up the phone and they'll say, "Oh, Mr. Smith, let me just show you, click that button, click that button." Oh my God. These companies are not going to do that. It's all about the relationships that we build. As we are truly in the repeat and referral business, we will win. Now, we're not going to win all of them. There's a space for them, because the super geeks, God bless America. But the people that want customer satisfaction and want a phone number to call, dealerships, hand downs, we have got it.
100%. And, you know, I almost want to keep building this company to empower dealers, believe it or not, to get rid of Carvanas. And they're, you know, they're not even competition to me. And normally you want to go after, like, you know, I want to go after Red Cap, but, you know, we're actually friends. We were just on a FixedOps table together. But, you know, I want to go after Carvana because I feel like I am DNA of the automobile industry. I've been in this damn thing since 1989, doing everything I've done. And I feel like these guys came in and they're outsiders. They're not dealers. They're not what we do. And they're taking market over just because the idea is brilliant. Trust me, they serve the customer where the customer wants to be served. And the dealership automotive body hasn't got there yet, but they will, and it's coming fast. I mean, if anything's going to happen in 2021, major groups are going to be in this heavy and hard, right? They're going all in. Mid-sized, medium-sized dealers, same thing. And what we want to do is give all of those guys the tools, but also the mom and pop Chevy store in middle of wherever, give them the same opportunity to compete. Because with a company like ours, you pay by the drink. So if you only drink one drink, that's what you pay for. If you really get drunk on us, then it might cost you a little money. You know, Shawn's bill isn't cheap, but you know what? I saved Shawn more money than he would have paid to do it by himself. It's not free, but it's also, you know, worth the savings and investment.
Well, I think COVID really drove something home this year too. Those disruptors was out there prior to COVID, and the dealers just kind of just stuck in their way, and we're going to continue the way we do things. And then when COVID hit, it put us all in a do or die situation. We had to change or die, and we had to change instantly. So now I think it's kind of built that resilience in us that, hey, we can go out and face these guys now. So the opportunity is there, or it kind of opened up. The opportunity was always there, but opened our eyes to make us chase those opportunities.
And the customer got a taste of it too, right? Once the customer gets a taste of it, they don't want to go back, right? If I, you know, that picture that you painted, I see it in my head, the guy in his lawn chair in the backyard by the pool and the car showing up. People start seeing that and they want that, right? That's what they want to do. And if it ain't costing them $100, $200, ask. This is what I do all the time. It's fun. I ask everybody, how much would you pay for someone to come pick up and drop your car off for service? Almost every time people tell me they will pay something, and normally it's $50 in that ballpark. I'll pay $50 all day long. Someone come pick up my car. How much would you pay to have a new car brought to your house for a test drive and have it dropped off at your home? $200? I don't know. How much is it, right? And nobody has once said to me, no, I wouldn't pay that.
Speaking of the drinks, all the drinks you can drink and you pay by the drink, subscriptions are interesting business model to follow, because a lot of them have finally, when I first heard of it, I thought, that just sounds so expensive. Why am I spending all that money? I was on the news. Not that there's a time and a place for every business model, but just to have subscriptions all around, pay, you know, $3,700 a month to have whatever BMW you want. How long are you going to do that for? How often do you change BMWs? But maybe there's somebody out there where it's perfect.
A lot of OEMs are in that space. I mean, Volvo tried it in California. There was a DMV issue and the dealer did not really benefit from it. Porsche, again, is trying to talk about it. I think Porsche would be successful. I think Porsche is a niche vehicle where people love and spend extra money on their car that they put to bed, put a blanket on every night. God bless every one of those. So I think that there's certain brands that will probably benefit more. But we just hope as dealers that, you know, the manufacturers don't leave us out, because I know that, you know, I hate to say it out loud, but, you know, some of them might think that.
And it's a steady cost as well. Sometimes these guys chase out and they go out and buy that car that they've desired forever. And then when they get their 10,000 mile service and they find out that's $6,000, the next go around, they control their costs. So this is total cost control as well for them.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of psychological What do people call their cars? They call them their baby. They name them. They become emotionally attached to them. Try to trade somebody out of a car that their grandparents gave them, right? It's worth like $9,000 more than it's worth, and it's only worth 500. So, people, and it might change. Millennials might change this. I don't know. I'm not one, obviously, but I think people want to own their car somewhat, or at least have some sense of ownership, and not have to do this. I want to swap it and change it and drive a different one all the time. Listen, people go to restaurants and order the same thing over and over again. I don't think that the appetite for swapping your car out every couple of months is really there. And nothing against those guys with those business model. I think there's a model for it. And listen, if it takes off, I'm the perfect guy to bring them back and forth to the people. So, maybe selfishly,
it's a win-win.
I just have been in this business long enough and psychologically know how it works that I don't think that that's going to be the dominant way of people in transportation.
Okay, I think I got everything crossed off my list. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I just want to share some websites before I do let you guys go. So for Anthony Monteiro, you go to DRAIVER.com, all right? Go to DRAIVER.com.
Look at that, 314,589 vehicles moved, baby.
You set that up.
Wow. Step One Automotive. What did you say? South Carolina to Florida?
Yes, sir.
Several dozen dealerships. That's Shawn.
Yes, sir.
All right, very cool. Bozard Ford, putting it in the live chat. That's Ed Roberts. And I clicked on. Would I click on service? Thought I'd see a picture of you up there, talking about service, but.
Nope, I stay behind the scenes.
Right, behind the scenes. Smart. Same thing. I did the same thing at Niello.com. I could do that, right? I shared the link in the live chat.
Yep.
Shout out to Tully. All right. And here we go. Big shout out to Ted Ings, FixedOpsRoundtable.com. You can just go to type in FixedOpsRoundtable.com. Go and register. Because it is, that's a big deal. That's a great event. I was lucky enough to talk to Ted for a few minutes, and I mean, he puts on a heck of a show and theme and branding and speakers. It's awesome.
Well, he's targeting where, the FixedOps people have a space, right? So we can meet the drivers, right? We can talk to the Eds and Shawns and talk to you, right? So I think that he is really bringing, let's just be frank. NADA is for parties and sales, and we want our piece. And Ted has done a great job in allowing vendors and people like Tully and Ed that just want to tell people, how things work if you just slow down a second. Slow down. I mean, Ed is such a soft talker, and I'm a little more mouthier.
We'll both deliver results.
I'm on the Tully side. I'm a steamroller, but great branding, Tully. What's going on with the logo? Tell us.
One of my parts managers did a joke on me, and he made everybody all these different little faces. So I have a sunglass one in the back, and he got the smiley face that Driver had. So one day Ted emailed me, and I sent him. I love my emojis. I got 42 of them. So every day I send an email out. You're getting an emoji of Tully being happy, sad, not happy, really angry. Themes, and Ted just started laughing, so he made some buttons.
It's a great idea. I have to come up with something. All right, I want to thank everybody. It's almost 10 o'clock, so I gotta let you go. I want to thank Anthony Monteiro. Thank you so much for taking all that time, spending the interview with us in the panel.
Sure.
It's awesome.
Anytime, man. Anytime. It's always both times has been great. I've watched several of your other shows and super informative, good guests. I love it.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Anthony. Shawn, thank you so much for taking the time with us. I know you're a busy man, and it's neat to see those micro perspectives of an interview and the theme of a show. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. It was a pleasure.
Ed Roberts, thank you so much. And Tully, you guys came together as a team, as a unit, representing the Teddings FixedOps. You are both FixedOps directors.
We appreciate you tying our part of it into this, because everything in dealership wise is so sales focused, and FixedOps has never got the attention until the last couple of years. So we're thinking about putting that in there.
You guys got love.
Well, and you know what, Auto Transport, boy, don't we know it. And I want to say this, is that Ty, I owe Ty a solid for turning me on to FixedOps and the dealer side and the sales. He's always saying, he says, you know, without the dealer sales guys, we don't have a whole lot of auto transport all the time. So it's more complicated than that, but I sure do know what you mean. And so it's neat that we're Auto Transport, FixedOps, we're sitting at the table.
Well, you got to think about it. You know, sales sells the first car, and me and Ned fix all the rest of the cars from that point on.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
You sell the second, third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah.
That is a really, really good point. So thank you guys so much for taking the time tonight. I'm going to let go of the meeting, and I really, really appreciate it. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good night, y'all.
CJ. Thanks, Shawn, Ed, Tully.
Take care of yourself.
And cut. Okay. The meeting is over. That was awesome. Really, that was cool. That was a cool show. I don't know if we've had a like FixedOps and service car home delivery show. That was episode 174. I'm having a hard time keeping track now. Even like I go back and look at a show from 2 or 3 years ago, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, we did that. So, and if there's a show we haven't done that we need to do, let me know. Send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Next week, we have Groundhog's Roundtable. So that is going to be awesome. If you want to get hooked up with that, let Ty know. Say, Ty, what's going on? I want to be on the Groundhog's Roundtable too. I want to thank Murphy Auto Transport, Murphy Auto Dispatch Services. Thank you, Sue. Thank you so much. Catch us on Thursday at noon if you're looking for a dispatcher. She's a fully licensed broker. Thank you, Mark Grodicke, Superflow Systems, end-to-end car hauling software from leads, CRM, into the dashboard, into the app. Make sure the drivers get paid. Don't forget the Transport Auto Quoter. Got to get the right quote. Get it right the first time with Transport Auto Quoter. And thank you, Jack Cooper. Looking for an auto transport gig as a car hauler, working in the yard, dispatch, terminal manager, go to jackcooper.com/careers. I want to thank Anthony Monteiro, COO of DRAIVER. Thank you, Shawn, Petley, Step 1 Automotive. Thank you, Ed Roberts, FixedOps Director at Bozard Lincoln Ford. And thank you, Tully Williams of the Niello Company. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your schedules to spend with us on a Tuesday night. I really appreciate you for tuning in, joining the live chat. Thank you for watching Auto Transport Intel. It means a lot. You're part of the core. It's Tuesday nights. It's the ecosystem. It's the community. This is Auto Transport. And I go live 4 times a week now. So, and don't forget, listen, you're in trouble, need help, go get signed up. You want to be on the roundtable? Next Tuesday, Groundhog's Roundtable. It's going to be awesome. So thank you guys so much. You guys have a great evening. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Take care.